Fashioned in his likeness and created in his image, came the first man. He was given a wife, a helper. Both were given clear directions on what was permissible and what was forbidden. Both suffered a spiritual death for their transgression. Eventually, both experienced physical death. Man belongs to him, and to him all praises are due. It would be a terrible thing to die not in the state of total submission to his will, forever wandering aimlessly in this life and the next.
Profess your faith, Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Jew. Did you choose it, or did it choose you? You're emulating others, you're regurgitating their words. An unlearned mind is simply absurd. He is the knower, sees all that you do. So don't be superficial, to thy own self be true. You came into this world alone, and so shall you go. A witness describe your actions, there's no man to say it so. Free will he gave us, praise him who save us. No time to waste, just soon to chase. Free will he gave us, praise him he'll save us. No time to waste, just soon to chase. Death soon you taste. Death soon you'll taste. Death soon you'll taste. Life is a burden, is part of the test. Inconvenience yourself and see how you'll be blessed. You're a guided example. You're distinguished from all others. Treat them all with kindness, your sisters and your brothers. Be righteous, bow down to the merciful Lord. Trust that he will bless you with the most gracious reward. Being a disbeliever, you cannot afford. Remembrance is the only way to be on one accord. Free will he gave us, praise him to save us. No time to waste, just soon chase. Free will he gave us, praise him to save us. No time to waste, just soon chase. Yes, soon you'll taste. Yes, soon you'll taste. Yes, soon you'll taste. Apparel oft proclaims man, materialistically diverted, his riches amassed, but is spiritually deserted. They searching for an answer, but they did it to hid things before God, mistaking it all for wealth. Haughty and full of pride, your misdeeds you cannot hide. His punishment is swift, forgiveness he'll provide. Repent and mend yourself, declaring your untruth. Turn to the unforgiven, for he's the living proof. Free will he gave us, praise him to save us. No time to waste, just soon taste. Free will he gave us, praise him to save us. No time to waste, just soon taste. Yes, soon you'll taste. Yes, soon Yet soon you'll taste. In this place, being lowly is key. A servant to God, not the avowed enemy. Spirituality is fine. You don't need religion. Love of the divine, not of man's division. Give honor and praise to the Most High, the most gracious, most merciful one, to go to God each day above ground. Don't live in the past, live it to the fullest, because it could be your last. Vengeance is mine, the Lord saith, His grace and mercy ain't nothing to play with. Free will He gave us, praise Him to save us. No time to wait, soon the days. Free will He gave us, praise Him to save us. No time to wait, soon the days. Yes, soon you'll taste. Yes, soon you'll taste. Yes, soon you'll taste. What's going on, girl? Come here.
What's up, babe?
Here you go, looking all pretty.
You see me? Yeah. I'm trying to get into something. What's up?
Must be a hot one tonight.
Trying to make a hot one with you.
What you could be?
It's gonna be you.
It could be, but you know,
I'm gonna show you.
I done did what you doing.
Oh yeah.
I ain't no judgment here.
Nah, we ain't doing none of that.
I'm just saying I'm not in that mood anymore. Like I'm doing, some different.
So what you doing different? Show me what you doing different. Put me up on game.
Girl,
I'm trying to be.
yeah.
It is what it is.
You in it. Right
I
now,
am.
you in it.
Oh, I'm gonna show you in a minute. I know you done heard about me.
Yeah.
You know my
But
name.
it's cool.
You know who I
You
am.
know how we ride.
How we ride.
I know about it.
Oh, you know.
I know who you are.
Oh yeah.
Things all around.
Oh, it
I
is.
never said.
Oh, huh.
I
Okay.
just said
What
your
they
name
say?
is all around town. I
Okay.
say what the town is.
All right. What's up?
I heard about you. You got the state name. Getting cash from your billion slider who hasn't came same. Your goal big inclusive, mine cold fish. You're still finding outright and you're still being misled. You're conditioned to believe that men always take your way. Your ghetto glamour girl who's simply gone astray. You're looking for love, always finding it in faces, fulfilling your dreams. To use this man's caseless. If you're coming at me, you better bring your A game, because I could care less about your A-frame. Just keep it moving along. If you want that fake fame, girl, you gotta want to be boss to have my fake name. You're citing scripture on what a man is supposed to do, but you're always missing your guidance. say that you don't have to prove. Self-righteous indignation is pose a pain. You and your friends slide character just the same. Calculated selection, you gave them all your affection. Your attitude now rude, no good men, dear diary confession. If you come into me, you best bring your A game. Because I could care less about your A-frame. Just keep it moving along. If you want that fake fame, girl, you gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name. You gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name. Girl, you gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name. There's no example of a man living in your home. Then now, oh lady girl, you're living all alone. You're looking for daddy, still finding a caddy, but his leadership voided by mistreatment tactics. So who's doing you real dirty in your house? Is irresponsible and selfish, and he has no attributes about. He's single-minded and selfishly driven. He wants to be in control. He wants to change how you live in. Unrightly guided, heading for disaster. You're giving honor and praise to God, but you won't let him master. If you're coming at me, you best bring your A game. Because I could care less about your A-frame. Just keep it moving along. If you want that fake thing, girl, you gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name. Girl, you gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name. Girl, you gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name. Keep it moving along. If you want that fake thing, 'cause I could care less about your A-frame.
Welcome to another live episode of Daddy's Right Here Live. I am your host, as always, Sabir Alim. Yeah, stage names. If you haven't heard the album yet, You Want to Be Me by yours truly. You can find it on Spotify and a host of other music platforms. Yeah, music streaming platforms. You can find it. Just find it. You just Google it. You Want to Be Me. Those are all letters and numbers. Yeah. And you can find me. Yes, you can find me. I can find me today. That's important to understand. Yeah. Can you find you? Did you know you were lost? Yeah, some of us are still lost, and it's okay. Well, it's okay if you're lost in the sense that you've been in this relationship, and for the death of you, you can't figure out why you keep being in some of the situations you are with this other person who you have selected to be with. Yeah, you selected to be with this person. You decided that this is who you want to spend every waking moment with, or just the night with, or we'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear with. But it seems that situations are what dictates your happiness, your joy. You know, do you like the way the house smells? Do you like the way you smell? The way she smells? What is it? What is it that keeps you there? What is it that keeps you going? Are you in search of something? Right? So when I talk about being lost, some people are lost in the sense that they have no idea what's going on in the world around them. No idea. Hey, girl, mom for life. No clue. Many of us are clueless today what's happening in the world in the sense of these so-called wars that are simmering. And some are not just simmering here in the United States. They're actually playing out right before our very eyes. And many are oblivious to this because they can't see beyond the four corners of their kingdom. And they're happy being there. And here you come, you want to take them away from there when that's what their life is structured on. Four corners. And sometimes those four corners encompass blocks: A block, B block, C block, D block. Still four corners. It's a level of comfort there. Safety. Yeah, safety. Protects you from responsibilities. Yeah. Protects you from the realities of life. Right? Sometimes that's where people are stuck. They're stuck in this reality that they've created for themselves, yet they complain about being in that reality that they have created for themselves. Many people are oblivious to not just the world around them in the international and the global sense, but what's happening in their very communities. I was watching a feed the other day on CNN, and they were interviewing some people. I forget what city it was, but they were asking them about their thoughts on the political structure within this particular city. And people were like clueless as to what was actually happening in their city. I'll give you another example right here in Riviera Beach, Florida. I often watch city council sessions on television. These folks, I've never seen such. I can't say I've never seen, but the shenanigans that go on with a bunch of adults who are responsible for taking Riviera Beach in the direction that it needs to be in order for all of its residents to prosper. And this was all about water. Now, just a few months back, two of the council persons got into a physical altercation. Yeah. Well, they weren't in front of the camera, but it began to fester at the podium where they were sitting and having the meeting. And then they took it off camera, and obviously somebody's there with the camera, and they caught some footage of it. But yeah, they got into a physical confrontation because of disagreeing with particular processes for things to happen for the people, not for themselves. So that's personalization. But it wasn't just that incident. There are many incidents that have happened here with city council people here in Riviera Beach. I mean, these folks set no example whatsoever for what government should look like. And then obviously some would beg to differ, and I really don't care. You can beg to differ, but the citizens are begging for better leadership. So we keep voting these people into office, and we don't know what it is exactly that they're doing. Some of these people wouldn't even vote for, and they're in office, and we don't even know what they're doing. And then you turn around and you have this envelope in your mailbox, and you open it up, and they tell you about a change that has happened, right? But you don't know anything about this change, so now you're upset about that. But because you're uninvolved, because you're not paying attention to what's going on within your political structure, you just keep voting for your party. You just show up, and they give you cookies and water and all kind of stuff, and they tell you who to vote for, and you go along with all of that. But what ultimately is happening is just like other activities and events that happen in life, in your life, right? They become layers of discontent, of contention, of unhappiness, of misery, of disagreement. They're layers. That's why when you begin to pursue change, it comes off in layers. And some people, don't allow the timing, the process for those layers to fall off, and they begin to get even more frustrated. And, that's just one more layer that people have added on to their challenging life, one that they have created. Today's topic is from Psychology Today, and it's 4 reasons why some people may never feel happy. See, it's one thing to say, I'm happy, but what does that feel like to you? And if it doesn't feel like it does to me, based on my definition of happy, well, you say you're happy. I say I'm happy, but how come your happy and my happy looks so different? So what is happy? And until you get the definition and the interpretation and the worldview of the individual who is presenting this happiness explanation to you, you really don't know what happiness is. We ask a whole lot of questions, man, about a whole lot of things, and we say a whole lot of things. Love is one of those other things that is so loosely used. Brother, sister, so if you don't have an AH on the end, it's different. And it's like the N word. If it's an AH, it's okay. But if for some reason, I have a tendency to not enunciate, you don't hear the AH and it sounds like the ER, so now you're offended. It's that kind of stuff that happens in our world, that happens right before our very eyes every day. And a lot of people are, not dealing with it as well as you would think they would. Yeah, that sounded real confusing, didn't it? Because it is. It's just like manhood, human race, fatherhood, motherhood, parenthood. You have all these things that people are saying, and they all have so many definitions, and we wonder why we are always so much at odds with other people, because the difficulty is not with other people, it's within ourselves. It's within ourselves. So this article from Psychology Today is 4 reasons why some people may never feel happy. Right? You may have fleeting glimpses of happy. And that happiness doesn't only come when you're taking a drink, snorting a line, having sex, eating at a 5-star restaurant, sleeping in a 5-star bed, going outside of your neighborhood, going from South Philly to North Philly. So is that happy? What is happy? What is happy? And if you are confused about your gender in terms of not the sexuality, the LGBT, just the fact that like I'm just not happy with my sex life, and it's good. I'm satisfied. It took the edge off, but what did it take the edge off of? What did it take the edge off of? Right? How do I feel about my genitalia? Right? So if I am not comfortable with that, then how do I overcompensate? Who or what am I comparing to? Am I watching porn and seeing everybody running around with, a 12-inch, do that, and and everybody got these bodies and they doing all this, and then the women is this and that, and that's what you're basing your sexual performance on, then that in itself is scary, which will always have you looking at your glass as half empty. You will never see gains because everything's a loss, because everything that you see around you fuels your thinking and it helps develop your self-perception, your self-concept. Yeah, all this sounds real confusing though, right? Because it really is. Because this is what really goes on in your mind in a matter of seconds. When you're interacting with other people, what's happening in your head right now? Is happy interacting within your spirit? What's happening in your mind? While the seconds tick away, you're having a conversation. You're perusing the environment you're in. You're observing the person before you. You're making judgments about them, right? You're listening to the words that they say. It's not effective listening. You're just singling out certain words because those are the things that trigger your responses and you begin to react, and then all these things are taking place. So you're guided by external things, driven by internal unresolved, and everything around you just seems to be in the way. Yeah. So when we start looking at happiness, you first have to have a definition, right? A realistic definition. Because if you don't start with the definition of the word happy, then you are never going to be, because you have allowed others to give you the verbiage to make that definition for you. So what it says here, key points from this article. People who constantly feel unhappy may be stuck in behavior patterns that prevent them from feeling satisfied. See, here's that word. Now you got to listen to the words. Help them from feeling satisfied. Satisfied. So that means satisfaction is significant to one's happiness, right? These 4 behaviors affect the perception of who we are, where we are, and what we have. It's a lot. It's a lot that you just read in milliseconds. It's a lot to live through this. Next bullet. By identifying these behaviors, we can learn new perspectives and coping skills to boost life satisfaction. Right? You watch people. Let's watch yourself. Every day you get up. What do you do? Every day. All right, so you have a job. You get up, you may have some things to do with the children, the significant others before you roll out. Then you roll out, and you're rolling out and you're going towards something, and whatever it is that you're going towards, it's already in your mind. It was in your mind yesterday. But as the day goes on, after you wake up, it begins to be more in the forefront of your mind. And then as you go through that day of putting in those hours for work, right, life is still happening around you, but you can't get to everything because you're at work. Because when you stay home, how many things do you get to, and how many things do you have to do in the course of that day? How many phone calls do you have to make? How many appointments do you have to attend to? So you go through this work day. And then at the end of your work day, right, you're heading home. And as you're heading home, you're processing what it is that needs to be done at home. So you get home and you start processing what it is that has to be done at home. And now that's in the forefront of your mind, and you're dealing with those things until you get to the point of just falling out because you're so exhausted. So just tell me, in that 24-hour period of time, where did you, hey, what's going on, RJ? It's Truth. How you doing, man? How's the baby? The baby's got to be like on their way to college by now, huh? Good to see you. So when you go through all of those things in a 24-hour period of time, and ask yourself how much of that day has been spent on your purpose. How much time? Tell me. I got a comment section. How much of that time in the course of your 24 hours was devoted to your pursuit of your life's purpose? not of your duties, not of your responsibilities in the course of the day, not of your obligations and commitments to those things that we just basic things, going back and forth to work. It's an 8-hour day, and if you're driving, that's another hour or two, so that's 10 hours to your day. You have to get some sleep. So let's say on average, you're at least getting 15 hours. I'm sorry, you're getting 5 hours sleep, so that's 15 hours, and then you got some. So what happens in those other hours? Devoted to somebody else. So on Friday, you rush off to go to Juma. On Saturday, you rush to go to the synagogue. On Sunday, you rush to go to the church. And then throughout the course of the week, if you're a religiously founded person, then you're at a service during the course of that week too. You're giving honor and praise to the Creator. He's not in need of any of that from you. That's something that you offer for keeping your sanity and having alignment in the foundation with some kind of spiritual connection. So when you get lost, as we started at the beginning of the show, you can find yourself, because that's the guiding light. But anyway, that's another show. So when you start looking at what happened in the course of that day, and then that's how your day is Monday through Friday. Well, if your 5-day work week, you get through 40 hours of work, right? You spent 40 hours with friends. I'm sorry. No, you haven't seen them yet. You talk to them on the phone. Well, so you spend 40 hours with strangers. Well, they're strangers because they're not significant others. They're significant to the task at hand, but they're not your significant other. So you spend 40 hours with other people you don't profess your love to. Yeah, these are people who you just see, and we have a job to do. We have some things to do, but in the course of that day, you begin to, develop relationships with these folks, right? And some of the relationships you develop are, pretty solid, right? We talk about a lot of things. We kind of, identify with a lot of things. We find that there's a lot of things that we have in common with one another, but you haven't. When's the last time you and your significant other had that kind of talk? When's the last time y'all sat down and y'all just like kind of busted up a little bit? Like you and, homie at the job, old girl at your job, dude at your job, regardless, same sex, opposite sex, it don't matter. But the point that I'm making to you is you have 40 hours of them every week, guaranteed. Because you have a responsibility to go make money, because you have to make money to pay bills and to live in this luxury or lack thereof that you live in. But you have to do that. And in the meantime, while you have to do this, you're establishing other relationships, and some of them inappropriately established because you just can't help it, because you spend all this time with them and no time with them. But what time has been spent, once again, with you? Because it seems like that your life has been committed and devoted to others. To others. Right? So everybody may not have the convenience of being in the field of work that they truly enjoy, that is part of their personal growth and development and professional development. And that's purpose, because I'm a facilitator of change. So I have an easy one, right? Because all I have to do is, get up in the morning, if I'm so blessed to do with such, give honor and praise to the Creator for doing such and giving me another day above ground. And my purpose is to help others, because helping others helps me. That charitable contribution of doing for other people. You understand what I'm saying? So mine is easy, but what if you're an auto mechanic? Oh, damn, I love cars. Yeah, you love cars. You love fixing cars. You love seeing them go faster. You love seeing them go. You just hate the customers sometimes that brings them in, because you want to see them go and just like, don't be bothered with all of that. But, again, my life, my career has been grounded in purpose. I even have a personal mission statement. But what mission statement do you have as an auto mechanic? I'm going from one extreme end to the other extreme end, but I want you to begin to think about happiness and what does happiness look like for you? Because it's easy for me to say, well, I'm happy seeing, these folks come out of prison and, live on their lives and take the information that we've given, them. I like to see, these folks come to the workshop and, they leave the workshop with some added information so they can better serve the population. I can say all of those things, but, that's great. That's wonderful that all of these things are happening. Right. I can say those things. And, some people say, well, that's more, satisfying. Oh, there's that word again, satisfying. So it's more satisfying for me to see that kind of change happen in people's lives. So therefore, that sounds like it's tied into happiness because there's a satisfaction there. How much satisfaction is an auto mechanic, finding? Yeah, I got the car running. I knew I could do it. Nothing, But so when does the joy end and the turmoil begin? See, I'm just giving you some information, man. That's right there in front of you, and you keep saying that you're happy. You keep saying that you have a good life, and then you keep saying that she's getting on your nerves. You keep saying he's getting on your nerves. When you always have this scowl on your face, and you're just always angry. You just always, you're always going through something, right? I'm just saying. If you're being real with yourself, are you feeling happy? Feeling happy. Because you can say, well, I'm happy that my child graduated from middle school. What does that mean? You're happy they did it. So are you happy in the sense that that was a purpose for you? Were you a part of that? Did you sit down to do homework with them? Did you sit down and did you did you delve into their lives? Were you a part of that growth and that learning process? And therefore, you saw your labor come to fruition? Or did you say, damn, I didn't think they were going to make it. They finally made it. And so now I got to be going up to the school doing this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth, and the third. And, they'll be heading to college soon. They can be out of my damn house. And, keep on, So were you happy for them? So being happy for somebody else, is that happy for you? Is that happy for you? Is that your happiness? Because the title of the article, it speaks for itself. 4 reasons why some people may never feel happy. Never feel happy. Right? It's like sitting in the house in Florida, never turning the air conditioner beyond 78. It stays on 78. Then when you put the thing on 73, you freeze to death. You feel that coldness. And if you never turn it back up to the 78, you will always feel cold. But is cold a state of mind? Can you warm yourself through positive thoughts, affirmations, focus, meditation? Can you change that condition that you're in that moment? Can you just accept that the temperature is no longer 78 and begin to warm up within? And it's no longer as cold as it once was because you made the adjustment. So you don't feel cold anymore, but you made some adjustments within to tell yourself it's not that cold. And some people do that with their lives. They say, well, it's just not that bad. Yeah, she gets drunk all the time and she yells and screams at me. Sometimes put your hands on me. Yeah, he gets drunk, but he goes to work every day. And when he comes home, he just takes his clothes off and throw them everywhere, but the bills is paid. I'm happy. What you're happy? What do you mean? You're happy that he goes makes the money because you have money coming in? Why are you happy? Why are you happy? So there's some implications of gratitude that have to be that have to be present. Because if you're not grateful, how can you ever be happy? Well, there are some ungrateful people who are happy. This gets really difficult as you go along, doesn't it? Because you have that comparison. You can always say, well, they seem happy. Well, they have money. They're happy. They have to be happy. They have money. Everybody who has money is happy. Right? The poorest are happy. So why are the poorest happy? Gratitude, some level of satisfaction. Wealth doesn't bring forth me feeling happy, does it? I'm happy to be able to drive in a $500,000 car. The car rates are going up about another 20 years. That's what they're going to be costing. So, you're almost there. Let's go back to the article. Happiness can be elusive. It is here one moment and then seemingly out of reach the next. Our cultural definition of this mercurial experience tends to center around achievement, acquisitions, and the ability to constantly improve oneself or our set of circumstances. This type of happiness can be difficult for anyone to sustain due to its inconsistent nature and the stress caused by constantly striving to maintain this rather ephemeral phenomenon, right? And again, it is confusing. What is happy? You go through all of these things and you begin to look at it because it talks here about sustaining, right? And it says this type of happiness can be difficult for anyone to sustain due to its inconsistent nature. So it goes back to purpose. Purpose. There's many of us who believe that because we have established a religious interpretation of God's will for us, that we have concluded within ourselves what we should be doing. But how can you believe in something that is known as greater than? Not the great, not the greatest, greater than. Greater than. How can you believe that you can conceptualize the thinking that took place and why man was created? And then believe that you have an understanding of yourself as a human being. You have no clue. We have no clue. We're clueless. We're making it up as we go along. We have parents who have made it up based on their previous living, their current living, their own upbringing, what perception they have of happiness, of joy, of achievement. They have all those things within themselves and put it upon you. And if they're not achievers themselves, then they couldn't put too much upon you. Therefore, you had to become a scrapper. You had to take some from here and some from there. And, we're all thieves. Like I learned through life what to steal from people. Yeah. Things that were in alignment with my goals, my aspirations, my purpose. I was seeking guidance from the Creator even when I was in the street. I'd be sitting there getting high and still thinking about purpose. Yeah. Because I didn't want to be in that place, but I was in that place. I was compelled to be there, and I didn't know how to get out of there. But I was learning. because I was feeling something. I'm an intellectual, so therefore it's not a problem for me to figure stuff out. I'm a Libra too, so that's one of the things that we're really, really good at as Librans. Yeah, we figure stuff out before it even happens, before you even know that it exists. We figured it out for you. Yeah, we figured it out. Yeah, you ain't. You heading in that direction. And being in this field for 30 years ain't helped a whole lot either. But what I'm saying to you is you have no idea. And if you haven't begun to look at the ideal conditioning and responsibilities of man, then where's your information? Where's your source? Your source is in the mind. What somebody told you, what you have come to believe about direction. For me, the foundation is charitable behavior, charitable conduct, thinking less of myself and more of others. I'm the dude who drives up and down the highway on their way to work or out in the street, and it's like I look for somebody I can help. And I'm not talking about the person who's, on the side of the highway and so on and so forth, with their head out. There's somebody who's broke down on the side of the highway. I have water in my car. Maybe they're thirsty. It's 97 degrees outside. They're sitting on the side of the Florida Turnpike, sweltering. They have 2 children with them. What can I do to help? And I have to be careful of those kind of things because sometimes I find myself trying to help a situation, but I put myself in a situation that, so you got to be kind of careful in making those selections. But because that is my process, because that is my conditioning, right? That adds to my happy because I'm not thinking about me in totality. I know that I have to keep this house in order, for me to be able to be the instrument of change for somebody else. But that's what the foundation of my happiness is. Doing this show is the foundation of my happiness. I've been doing Daddy's Right Here since 2006. 2006, I think, was when I formed the nonprofit Daddy's Right Here. Haven't been as active in these particular areas, but being consistent with the education station. So I'm getting ready to fire up the burners again right here in Florida. Y'all in trouble, Florida. I'm bringing it. Daddy's Right Here. It's here. But I'm saying all this to say that when you get up every morning and the only thing that you can think of first is, damn, I would work, other than damn, another day above ground. And I'm not saying that you have to articulate that necessarily. I'm saying your behavior has to reflect that as well. Because I'm not telling you I get up before I put my feet on the ground. Yes, Lord, thank you. Because I don't. I'm not telling you as my feet hit the ground, I'm walking across the bedroom floor heading to the bath, and I'm saying thank God. Because I'm not. I'm telling you that there's a conditioning that exists within my spirit that I woke up and said good morning to God without even opening my mouth. Because of what my intentions are in the waking of my day, which is what makes me satisfied inside. Back to the article. I do not want to underestimate the power of trauma, anxiety, depression, and other mental health disorders that impact one's ability to access happiness. These disorders necessitate a higher level of treatment, and with proper care, those who suffer from them can often live a life full of happy and content moods. See, happy and content. It's 2 different things. Socioeconomics certainly plays a role. It's hard to feel content when there's uncertainty in meeting basic human needs for food, clothing, and shelter. However, From working with clients of all backgrounds for 16 years in therapy for this person, 30 years for me, I have seen certain behavior patterns emerge that significantly limit one's ability to find commitment in their life, no matter how much they have or achieve. Just told you, right? We just got finished talking about the same exact thing. I do not want to underestimate the power of trauma, anxiety, depression, and other mental health disorder. We don't address those things. And I often talk about, especially in the Black community, Black folks don't like to use counseling in any capacity, whether it's substance abuse counseling, whether it's marriage counseling, whether it's mental health counseling, don't want to use it. We got a fix for everything. I don't need no counselor. For what? I got this. And it's even worse for males because we're just not conditioned that way. We're not conditioned to get help. We're conditioned to be the help. And ain't that traumatic? To know that if you're not supposed to ask for help, you are the help. There's no Calvary coming. You are the help. And you know what I mean? Like, dude, what are you looking for? Get it done. Get it done. Trauma. Childhood adverse, events, right? That we don't even look at. 5 years old, you're telling me stop crying like a little girl. Stop acting like a sissy. Get up. Boys don't cry. Be a man. At 5, I'm going to be a man. Is that where the problem is right now between you and I? Because you were a man. You were told the same thing at 5 to be a man. So you still are being the boy because you haven't allowed yourself the process of shaking off the boy, coming from boyhood to young adulthood into middle adulthood. And if you know anything about Sigmund Freud says that young adulthood doesn't end until what? 39, 29? I think it's 39, I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it's 39. Young adulthood doesn't end until 39. That's when young adulthood ends. 39, now you're entering into middle. That's why they call it middle age. So young adulthood ends at 39. So you have people who are almost 40 who are acting like they're 15 for a variety of reasons. So you don't know the information that they've got about manhood. Because I swear I don't remember a whole lot of conversations about boyhood. I swear I don't remember a whole lot of conversations about being a teenager, right, that were given to me as a male. Only thing I ever heard was about being a man, being a man, being a man, being a man, being a man. Nobody taught me how to be a boy. I wasn't allowed to be a boy. That's why we have so many difficulties today, because so many of our young males think they're men. Many think it predicated on the age of 18 to 21, depending on what country you live in, right? Many believe it's such because they've gotten a job and they earning some money and they have the ability to pay a bill. I'm not saying that they pay a bill, but I'm saying they have the ability to pay a bill. So when we tell them, well, listen, when you get a job, you can get out, take care of yourself, bye. And then they turn around and leave, then they find the struggle. But because you told them that, they don't want to come back. So they go out there and hustle to pad their income to make ends meet. Now you got a boy out there, living what they think is a man role. Is a man's role. And we wonder why we have so many single family driven environments and we have so many of our males incarcerated. And so it's not just because of a systematic issue, because the system is not dysfunctional. It is the functional aspect of life, but it's a matter of you still have to look at the family system and what's happening in the family system, which prevents us from being able to meet that challenge of the other systems that we're faced with, because you have a family system that doesn't exist. The family system has been dismantled. The family system is now the judicial system. Yeah. Because people who have substance abuse issues turn around and eventually find themselves homely or incarcerated. Therefore, they don't have any kind of foundation, because now they've committed a felony. And when they come out, now they're in a situation they can't get a job. So now you understand how this goes. But because somewhere along the line in the family system, we're not reaching our family members, because as much as we tried, our family members take that route anyway, because they believe that they're going to do it different. That we just old and dumb, that we don't know what's going on, that we don't see the writing on the wall, because they're using a dry erase board and we used to use the green slate or the black slate board. So they think we don't know what the hell we're talking about. So they're going in that direction anyway. The struggle is real. What's your purpose? What is your purpose? A bee knows what its purpose is with certainty. But again, they're still going out and doing the work. So even a bee, like all of God's creations, even a bee has to go out and work. They have to take care of the queen in the colony. You don't hear. I haven't heard about. Have you heard about a king in a bee colony? I mean, for real. Why is it there's no kings being discussed when we talk about bees? It's always the queen who sits on the throne, and everybody, all the workers go out and come around, but there's no king. But many of the bees are going, and they have a whole film on where the bees have gone. But isn't that funny how the bees and mankind have similar situations where it's always the queen who's on the throne and the king is where? So when you start looking at trauma, when you start looking at things that happened in your childhood, when you look at things that continue to happen to you over and over and over again, you're being re-triggered in situations. And until you find that you're rubber banding, is what it's called in therapy, when you find that you're rubber banding from past events to present events, and those past events are actually dictating and determining the outcome for the current event, until you find that out, you're going to keep on doing that, and you're going to keep on telling somebody else it's them, and you're going to keep on being miserable because you have this unresolved that you haven't acknowledged, because your thinking is, I'm all right, I'm good. I always ask people when they say, am I? So is that AIGHT, or is that ITE, or is that IITE, or what exactly does that mean? You ever ask your children that? When they say to you, am I? Ask them to explain that. Males do it with an attitude, am I? That means don't ask me another damn thing. I'm good. I got this. I ain't no chump. I'm a strong man. I just wanted to know what I'm sorry if I offended you, but you don't have to react that way. So you look at these kind of things, and you just start asking yourself a lot of questions, man. You ask yourself a whole lot of questions about what's going on. And it's never what's going on with you. It's always what's going on with somebody else. Somebody else. What is your purpose? Don't be telling me what God's purpose is for you, because you don't know. You don't know. Only thing you know is what happened to those who didn't do particular things, and what happened for those who did particular things, those who were reminded about, the obligation that they have to this, that, and the other. But There were non-believers sitting amongst believers and following believers, and they were still non-believers, but it was something that they were acknowledging about that relationship, just because they were showing up, but they still call themselves non-believers. So it was a feeling that they were actually following when those words were falling upon their ears, or when they were in the presence of these believing folks, and how that seemed to be the only moment that there was a level of sanity amongst the people. That's the only moment that when people were at peace, when they were listening to the messengers. But the doubting minds still were wreaking havoc within the individual. Don't believe that you fully know yourself, not because you don't. There's things that I'm still learning at 60. What am I? 63. I'm still learning things about myself. Every time I do a show, I'm learning more things about myself. So we're learning together when I do these articles. I just peruse an article, say, hey, this sounds like where my spirit is today. Let's go with this. Or this is what I saw happen this week, and let me go with that. So that's what personal growth is. That's another part of finding purpose, because it hits you like, bam, this is what I've been destined to do. Yeah. Help other people. And it says it here. I've heard that over and over again in different venues. When you help others, you help yourselves. That makes sense. You save yourself first, then go back and save your family, then go back and save your community. Damn, that makes sense. Yeah, how can you help others and you haven't helped yourself? Who helps you? And why are you angry because they're not helping you? Have you helped yourself? Do they have the capacity to help you? Can you help you? It gets complicated. It gets complicated because you really you try to go in the best direction that you think is going to be the right direction, only to find that wasn't the right direction. Your heart was in it, but was your heart happy while doing it? We use a lot of words, and we don't fully define those words. If you look up feel, that's the first thing. Feeling. You have to understand that word first. Feeling. What does feeling mean? Because the article is what? About feeling happy. And why some people may never feel, while others do. And for those who never feel happy, do they ever find out that they really don't feel happy? That they're just satisfied in a particular moment, but they don't feel happy? That they just smile and get through the order of the day, and in between the clenching of the teeth, that smile, they're clenching their teeth because they really said, I just wish this would be over. You understand? I'm sick of it. You just have to look at things for what they really are. Yes, it makes me happy to see the smile on the face of my children when I see them on FaceTime, or when I wake up in the morning and there they are. Yes, it's a moment. Feeling happy is not a moment. It's not a moment. Feeling happy, right, implies that no matter what is going on, how much chaos is happening around you, right? Even the worst storms upon you, feeling happy doesn't mean smiling in the sense that you think. Because when you believe that this too shall pass, when you know it, because you know what's happening right now has to be significant to your growth and development, because in purpose you have to keep growing. So when you get to whatever it is that you get to, maybe you've already gotten there, you don't even know it, but if you keep working at it, right, you keep working at it, you know that this too shall pass, and that this is part of that. Storms come, that storms go, that there are hurricanes, there are earthquakes, there's also a calm. We keep looking for the calm as being an indicator of happiness. No, the storm is the happiness too. Got to shake that tree. Let some of them dead leaves fall off. Let some of that fruit fall down. And the fruit that falls from the tree. Procreation, feeding others. Not just man benefits from the fruit that falls from the tree. Everything in the ground, the earth benefits from the tree. You are earth. You are the atmosphere, minus a few elements. But most of your creation is of the world. Therefore, everything feeds off of one another itself, and it has nothing to do with trauma. Nothing to do with depression and anxiety. It has nothing to do with any of those things. So don't tell me you have an understanding of who you are as a human being, because you don't understand your humanity. You don't. It's all predicated off of what somebody told you. Whether it's in written form, or whether it's conversationally, whether it's standing at the podium, whether it's standing at the corner preaching, or whether it's sitting on the bus stop waiting for the bus and just having a conversation with you. That's what somebody told you, and how you've internalized all of these events, right? You don't understand your humanity. You can't possibly understand your humanity. Why did the frog allow the snake to sit on its back as it crossed the river? The scorpion, snake, same difference. The snake. I said, the scorpion convinced the frog to take it across the water, and convinced the frog with all intention, purposes, I will not sting you. I'd be a fool to do that. I drown. And what happened as soon as that frog reached land? Scorpion stung the frog. Why would you expect the scorpion to do anything other than what's already in its nature to do? That's what they do. You don't know your humanity. You don't know your humanness. You don't know what it means to be a human being. You know what it means to be what they told you are. You're a man, you're a woman, you're a boy, you're a girl. This is what you do. This is how you do it. This is what you don't do. This is how you don't do it. That's it. That's all you need to know. That makes you a boy. That makes you a girl. That's what you need to know. That has a damn thing to do with purpose. Parents are pursuing their own purpose through you when they're guiding you based on their own traumas. They're trying to live their lives through you. So who gets it right? How do you get it right? How do you find purpose? Oh, because you go knock on doors every Saturday morning with the squad? Because y'all sitting in the pews on Sunday? Because you're prostrating shoulder to shoulder on Fridays? That's purpose? It's purposeful. It still has an established purpose. So we haven't gotten to the reasons list. We haven't gotten to the reasons list because we are pretty much we're at that hour. But the list, these 4 things: people who have an unusually difficult time feeling content. Yeah, we're going to go over that list next week. Right, today, the focus was on who these people are when it says why some people. Who are the people not? How did these people come to this point where they don't look like they'll ever be happy? How are these people happy? Are these people really happy? Is happy a place? People say, my happy place, like, the beach is my happy place. What happens when they take the beach? This is the house. This is the beach. This is the happy place. If this is not the happy place, then that's where the problem is, because this, your house, your temple, this is what you're the kingdom of. You're the king of. This is what you're the queen of. Until you are it as such in here, you cannot be out. You cannot be it outside of you. You can't. It has to be in here. It has to live in here. And if it doesn't live in here, then there's some work to be done. And then you're amongst those people who may never feel happy. Feel. So you need to look up those words. Look up the word feel. Look at the definition of feel. Right? Because it's part of our six senses. Our five senses. The sixth sense was a movie, right? And is there seven senses? Yeah, y'all work that out. But feel happy. And it mentioned the word feeling satisfied. See, people who constantly feel unhappy may be stuck in behavior patterns that prevent them from feeling satisfied. Feeling, satisfaction, happy. Satisfaction implies an end, a conclusion. I am satisfied. I am looking for satisfaction. Satisfaction guaranteed. I've gotten a good product. They guaranteed it. Oh, up until this date. They give you a 3-year warranty. When does it break down? 3 years and 2 days. Right? Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. And so it's a lot of things that have to be looked at when you start looking at what happy is. We say some people are happy doing nothing. Does that make sense? They're happy doing nothing. No, they're just doing nothing. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in nothing. There's nothing in nothing. But we say that. Again, you say that to an intellectual, you're going to get a different response, and then you're going to be offended because of the response the intellectual gives you about what it is you just said. Now you're all up in your feelings. And ask yourself why. Does that tie into your purpose? Woo! Yep. But anywho, anyway, it's just a strange thing of how, life goes, and how we like to put the finger somewhere, that it doesn't belong, because it just makes sense. It just I don't know. But anyway, we're at the hour. We're going to follow this discussion up next week, man. We're gonna follow this up next week, and hopefully I have some answers for you, man. What we got going on here? Here we go. But anyway, listen. As always, you can be doing anything on a Saturday morning, right? Besides sitting here listening to my mouth, you've made a choice to listen to me, and I greatly appreciate it. In the humblest of ways, man. Life is great, but just know that we're doing this together. This show is not just for you; it's for me too. I'll see y'all next Saturday, 9 a.m. live.
You're doing different.
We're going to continue this
Trying
conversation.
to be.
Y'all have a good one.
It is what it is. I am. Oh, I'm gonna show you in a minute. I know you done heard about me. You know my
But
name.
it's cool.
You know who I
You know
am.
how we ride.
How we ride.
I know about it.
Oh, you know.
I know who you are.
Oh, yeah?
It's all around town.
Oh, it
I
is.
never said
Oh, huh.
This
Okay.
is
What they
thing
saying?
is all around town. I
Okay.
see what you ask me.
All right. What's up?
I heard about
you.
You got
You got the
stage
stage
name.
name. Get cash from your brilliant slider who haven't came sing. Your gold big exclusive.
Hey y'all, thank everybody for tuning in. It's Saturday morning. It's time to go shopping, get the food in the crib because we starving in
Your
here.
condition to believe that men always take your way. Your ghetto glamour girl.
Sound down in the background from the album entitled You Want to Be
Always
Me.
finding it in faces.
Stage name.
Fulfilling your dreams. To you, this man is tasteless. If you're coming at me,
Hey,
your best friend, your
y'all look out for the first commercial for Aline. Yeah.
Just keep it moving along.
Aline.
If you want that fake
Got some
thing,
stuff coming at you. You won't find it anywhere else. Customized. Yeah. Shirt,
Your side inspector,
cup,
what a man is supposed
posters.
to do, but you're always
Yeah.
missing your guidance.
You'll be able to find the product on Etsy, Shopify, and a host of other platforms. Yep,
You and your three flying characters just
coming at you.
calculated.
Y'all have a great day.
You gave them all your affection, your attitude, now rude, no good men, dear diary confession. If you're coming to me, you best bring your A-game, because I could care less about your A-frame, just keep it moving along. If you want that fake fame, girl, you gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name. You gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name. Girl, you gotta wanna be boss to have my fake name.
Just keep it moving along. If you want that big thing.
There's no example
Of a man living in your home. Then now or later, girl, you're living all alone.
You're looking for daddy,
Still finding a caddy. But his leadership voided by mistreatment back to hay. Doing you real dirty. He's running your house.
is irresponsible and selfish, and
He has no attributes to spouse.
he's single-minded
And selfishly driven. He wants to be in control. He wants to change how you're living.
unrightly guided.
Heading for disaster. You're giving honor and praise to God, but you won't let him master.
If you're coming at me, you best bring
Make sure
your
you check out
A-game.
this album as well as my other 3 albums
A-frame,
on your favorite music streaming platform. I'm overdue for another single release. The last release,
Bottom feeders.
It's been about 2 months, so I'm due for another one. Keeping myself active. Purpose, man. Hey, listen to the lyrics, man.
Moving along, if you want that fake thing,
You can stay with Faith. Yeah, stay away from me.
about your A-frame.
Y'all need to figure out what I mean by the A-frame too. I don't care nothing about no A-frame. Figure that one out. A-frame. All the twerkers should be able to pick this one up real quick. A-frame. I could care less. Y'all have a great one. I'm your host as always, Sabir Ali.